ever been so focused on bettering yourself that your piece turned into somebody else's problem? Yeah, me too. And trust me, the jealousy I did not see coming came from the last person I expected. This one is about a so called friend who copied my moves but skipped the accountability. Welcome to Bonnet Beliefs, where the tea spills, the lessons learned, and it all stays under the bonnet. Today's story has a toxic cocktail of envy, gaslighting, half truths, and a big shot of the all damn audacity. So buckle up. So another coworker forwarded me this job that had an opening. It actually had a few openings. I think it was like two or three, could have been four. So, I looked it over and I applied. But usually when I apply to jobs, I keep it quiet because that's just me. I don't go around announcing every move that I make. I apply, pray, and let God handle it because what's for you is for you. So weeks go by, and here is where it gets interesting. So usually jobs post the postings stay open for around 10 days. Sometimes could be longer, just depending on the needs of the service. But on the 10th day or whatever day, it was like around 9 or 9:30. This same friend sends me the job. And she's like, "Hey girl, this job has good perks and they got three positions open." So I'm thinking like, okay, to myself, I'm like, you sending this to me at almost 10 o'clock, knowing that these jobs close at like 11:59, and you knew I was going out to dinner. So I'm like, okay, well, what's the plan here? So not thinking nothing of it. I didn't say nothing or whatever, but I just thanked her and I kept it moving because when I looked at the job, it was the same job that I hadn't already applied for. I just didn't say anything. Let's fast forward a couple weeks. So what happens is when HR, I think you have to go through like the system first and then it gets moved over to HR. So what they do is they review, and if you qualify, you are put on what is called a certification, cert for short. So let's fast forward a couple weeks. The certification results come out. Guess who qualified? Guess who got referred to the hiring manager? Guess who didn't? Her. Now, when she found that out, pissed off, furious. You talk about mad, mad, mad. Like genuinely mad. The girl was so mad, she emailed HR trying to figure out why certain people were referred and certain people were not based on the past work off of the resume or something like that. And HR told her straight up, you didn't qualify based on the grading system. Well, you can't fight with that. Therefore, that should have been the end of it, right? Nope. She went around telling people that I took her job. Let's take a pause. Let's take a pause, break. How can someone take something from you that you wasn't qualified for? Ma'am, ma'am, that wasn't theft. That was favor because you moved sneakily from the beginning. So, how I found out about that, apparently, she was walking in the hallway with a couple of other people. And these couple of other people who came back and told me that homegirl stood in the middle of the hallway and said, well, yelled and said, Kim took my job. And they was like, wait, what? She repeated it. Kim took my job. And so they were like, did you make the cert? And she said, no. So then they were confused because how did she take your job? I think the light bulb went off then because you got to make this make sense. But then it hit me as they were telling me that it was like the jealousy was real, real, real. Because it wasn't really about the job, it was about the peace, the confidence, the favor. But my goodness, all I did was apply. But see, that's what happens when you're nasty. When you try to hide things from other people, then it does not turn out good for you. And Psalms 23, thou prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So she had to literally sit there and watch me eat. When you move different, when you think different, and you protect your energy, people who are still stuck in chaos will start resenting your calm. Because, see, she thought by sending me that job at 9 p.m. would actually slow me down, would actually prevent me. But what she didn't know was that God had already aligned it for me 10 days prior, before she ever even thought about sending it at the last minute. So while she was plotting, I hadn't already planted that seed. And if I was going to get it, I was going to get it. And if I wasn't, I wasn't. So the next time somebody tries to sabotage your blessings, just remember, God going to bless you right in front of them. Right in front of them fools. And they got to sit there and watch. And that's exactly what God did for me. He prepared the table before me in the presence of my enemies. And that is why I say peace isn't passive. It's actually power. It's actually power. So if this story hit home, do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share it with somebody who is protecting their peace too, or who need to protect their peace and just need a little extra. Also, if you have not seen the 7 signs they're jealous of your peace, check that out, because the 7th sign is the sign that you could miss. Also, if you like meditating or you need something to release toxic, check out the meditation that I have, because that's going to clear out some toxic energy and stuff and help you to be peaceful on your way, on your journey. And until next time, peace.